All right, it is the newspaper review this morning, and we're starting somewhere in Africa, east, west, north, and south. Well, we're settling with West Africa, looking at the nation, the Daily Nation, this morning. Now, the Daily Nation has quite a number of stories this morning. Now, if you look at it, it talks about our trash Uhuru's punitive budget. That's what it's saying this morning. Now, it's all about the election as it is gearing up this Monday morning, 11th of April. You can also see a group of women here with their shirts quite customized, colorful, I must add. Getting ready for Easter, it says. Christians mark Palm Sunday. This just happened yesterday, and these are some church members walking on the streets right there. You can get more information from the Daily Nation this morning. Now, looking at politics, is Raila a victim of blackmail in Azimio? That's with a question mark. Well, you can get more from that from page 5 of the Daily Nation.
All right, so we move away from the Daily Nation this morning. Let's go straight to another paper this morning, and we are going to New Vision. That's where we're going to. New Vision this morning has that very hot header right there. It says, who will replace Olaya? That's a big question. Yes, who will replace Olaya? Race for Omoro MP gathers spaces. Family fronts Olaya's son on page 4. You find that story. And you can see pictures of candidates, if you put it that way. Richard Bongawat, you have Andrew Ojok Olaya. That's Olaya's son that they say they're fronting to take over. Andrew Olai. You also have Terence Odunga, Francis Rotionyo, Douglas Okelo. These are the names of the candidates they are bringing forward, and to see if they will stand a chance to replace Olaya. Don't forget Olaya's burial indeed, and everything that we brought to you was something that we discussed extensively here on the Breakfast Show, and we will also look forward to discuss it further. But that's one of the biggest stories on the front page there. Let's take a look at that picture. You could see, oh yes, you could see the bishop. The bishop is indeed looking all happy and so on. And that's the bishop of Bosuka Diocese. That's Reverend Paul Sampson. And he's leading a procession heading to Christ Cathedral in Jinja City for Palm Sunday prayers yesterday. You can see they have on their hands palm branches, and everyone is indeed excited, getting ready for Palm Sunday, if you put it that way. But that's not all. Let's quickly move on to another one. Erratic rains while Uganda's food security is threatened. Yes, you'll find that story on page 3. Pockets of insecurity to be dealt with, says Museveni. You find that as well on page 5. And then Vision promo. Yes, New Vision gives back to readers, Oluchi. So if you want to get something from the New Vision, make sure you go read up. Well, that's all I can take on the front page, yes, of New Vision.
From the New Vision, let's head to the Namibian this morning. Now, on the upper left, you can see there 15.1 million Namibian shilling spent on human-wildlife conflict payments. That's what it's saying on page 3. On page 11, there's a bank to pay indebted property companies. And also, you can see this big story here talks about anger grows over pension grab. That's what it's saying. Amupanda leads charge on social media. You can get more of that story from page 2 of the Namibian. And on the left hand here, we're looking at local authorities want to benefit from fuel and other levies. That's another interesting story from the Namibian. Now, the last one I will be taking from the Namibian this morning talks about primary and secondary smokers, or should I say primary and secondary smoking. Renewed push in Parliament for hubbly-bubbly ban. That's what it's saying. You can see a man here, a young dude, and you can just see the amount of smoke gushing out of his nostrils. Well, this is quite harmful if you're looking at the health and the entire system of humans in Namibia. But there's more details from that health story from the Namibian.
All right, away from the Namibian, let's go straight to another front page this morning on Breakfast Central. Business Day in Nigeria. That header there says, trapped vessels put Nigeria's fertilizer production at risk. Trapped vessels put Nigeria's fertilizer production at risk. Threatens food security. So it's about food security this morning. Recall that we took the Namibian and we talked about food security as well. And now we're taking a Business Day in Nigeria, also mentioning food security as well. Well, 2023, what Nigerians want from next president, that's a story you might want to read. You'll find that on page 31 as it continues. And we have another one. Federal government's budget deficit to hit 23-year high on petrol subsidy. Nigeria bucks trend of African pairs seeking to narrow deficits. Page 20 will give you all that and more if you need to get all the details. Tech growth drives office demand in Q1, that's quarter one. Page 27 has that story. And then you can see the picture of the first annual general meeting. Yep, no doubt. I'm sure you get so much about it from one of the banks in Nigeria. Oluchi, a lot to talk about, I must say, concerning the fertilizer threat and the food threat as well, food insecurity, and not forget to do Nigeria's 2021 fertilizer importation as well. That's another problem, but I think I'll stop here for Business Day. Go grab a copy and read some more.
Grab a copy of the Business Day and also include the Nigerian Tribune, because that's where we're heading to this morning. Now, the Nigerian Tribune leads on politics in Nigeria. Now, it is not surprising at all because it's a breaking story. We're talking about the current vice president of Nigeria, Yemi Osinbajo. Now, this story here talks about 2023. Osinbajo informs APC governors of bid for presidency. Whoa, this has been blowing the minds of Nigerians, Africans, and the international community since the rumor broke out over the weekend. Set to declare publicly today via social media platforms. That's on page 5. That's one of the big stories we're getting from the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Also on page 5, it talks about zoning. Why PDP is in dilemma. Local stock market investors lose 14 billion naira in 5 days. That's also on page 6 from the Nigerian Tribune. Now on page 5, the upper right, you can see Adebanjo himself there talking about his legacy. He says, "My legacy is my consistency in politics." Adebanjo recounts experience at 94 as Tunde Bakare honors him during church service. There's so much happening on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune, so feel free to get a copy of that paper.
All right, so let's leave the Nigerian Tribune and go to another Nigerian newspaper. This time we are sticking to The Guardian. That big header there, Oluchi, makes a return as well. Osinbajo ends consultation with APC governors, declares today. It's kind of like the talk of the town. Everyone's talking about it because, we know that the tenure has ended for the current president, which is President Muhammadu Buhari. And then you have his vice, in whom many have mentioned that he's going to run, and there was all of a sudden silence, and now he is running. So Osinbajo ends consultation with APC governors, declares today. That would be about 14 to 15 candidates
so
running for the president, and it's indeed quite a number, I will put it that way.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is. Well, you find that story inside of The Guardian, so make sure you read some more. Gunmen murder new community head in Kaduna. That's another story that you'll find quite sad. We'll talk about that. I'm sure we'll have that topic later on in the course of our top stories. But that's what you find on page 8. Let's go to more news where you can find it inside of The Guardian. NG Eagle Airline incurs 22 billion naira loss over stalled operation, National Assembly interference. Wow. Nigeria Eagle? Ooh, okay. Page 3, you'll find that story there. No respite for subscribers as NIMC, that's NIMC telcos outlets are overwhelmed. Only you needed to see the number of persons who have decided to heed to the call to link their SIM.
I mean, I'm sure the customer service centers will be overcrowded with people in multitude, ensuring that their phone lines are not disconnected at the end of the day.
I'm telling you, you have a lot of them there. Well, you can read up and see if you are a corporate and you need to do something. Well, read some more. It might give you an insight.
So why would you use the word corporate?
Yeah,
I mean, what have they done wrong? Some of them have complained that they did register their SIM cards, but for whatever reason that they are not aware of, their phone lines have been disconnected. How are they culprits, Joe?
Okay, so let me take it back. If you are affected. All right, all right. Okay, court stops AGF others from frustrating appeal against judgment on the Electoral Act. That will be on page 4. Read that. Soludo shocks Anambra's 21 local council secretariats over gunmen's threat. So there's this threat ongoing. And talking of Anambra, we should look forward to being Anambra this morning as well, exclusive. And I'm sure you'll be looking forward to join us most definitely. I'll take one more story or two, Oluchi, if you allow me to do so. I'm a founding member, will contest for president under APC, says Bakare. So APC is adding one more today. Osinbajo, who's looking to declare, of course. And then you have Bakare, who says he would also join the race.
But what's he coming out for? Has he come out to state if he's vying for the seat of the president
yes.
or
He
the
said,
seat of the vice president?
I'll contest for president under APC.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Okay.
It's been quite heated from the Guardian. Let's just head over to the Nation this morning. We are still looking at the situation of things in West Africa. Now, it's all about politics from the Nation this morning, where it talks about Oshibajo to APC governors. I am running for president. Now, you've heard that loud and clear from previous papers that we have taken. But on the upper left, we're looking at the health sector here. Page 4, it says Nigeria's COVID-19 cases rise by 45%. This is quite worrying. WHO comes out to say virus still spreading. You can get that from page 4 of the Nation this morning. And on page 4, 37 billion naira National Assembly renovation begins. Contractors mobilized. The meaning contractors have been given some form of upfront fund to initiate the renovation process in Nigeria here. But there's more details from the Nation this morning. On page 7, Akeredolu's wife guns for APC Senatorial ticket. Why PDP should not abandon zoning by George. That's also on page 7 from the Nation this morning. Now, if you come down to the left hand, you can also see Electoral Act 84, subsection 12. Appeal court stops Malami. That's what it's saying there. You can also see this. This is a story on page 6. NDLEA intercepts 101 parcels of cocaine in children's duvet at Lagos airport. Wow, things people are doing. Well, you can get that from page 6. And the last one I'm taking this morning, federal government to raise 700 billion naira from pension liabilities. That's on page 4 from the Daily Nation.
And away from the Daily Nation, let's start to bring it down as we go to the next paper, looking to wrap up the newspaper segment. But this one has got to do with Newsday in Zimbabwe. Another chopper goes down. I just seem to have a little issue with the front page, because I was expecting to see the chopper, the helicopter as well, but it's not there. Rather, I can see people who are felicitating and having a great time. So I'm wondering, is the chopper there or it's somewhere else? But definitely it's a story of a helicopter that's down. An Air Force of Zimbabwe AFZ helicopter reportedly crashed yesterday near at Chibohiro College in Mondoro. The police and army officials were coy on details about its passengers and possible casualties. So sources have said that this happened near Chibero College in Mondoro. So that's one of the stories that's making the header there for Newsday. Another chopper goes down, and that is not quite a good story this morning, but that's what you have on the front page. Well, the picture I talked about earlier on has to do with the fact that revelers follow through a performance by South African artist, the one known as Focalistic, the Harare International. And you can see them having a great time. Oluchi, I've not seen anyone wearing their nose mask, yo.
I mean, restrictions have been eased out gradually, slowly, steadily, but it has been eased out in a lot of African countries and even beyond the continent of Africa.
That's right. All right, so that will do it for the front pages of the papers this morning on Breakfast Central here on News Central. It's the brand new 2 hours, and we are definitely relishing every single part of it, and we're sure that you're doing the same.